Hey guys, Rascal here, and we're doing Workbench chat number 6. With the release of new tools coming out via Traxxas and other places, I figured today we need to have us a little tool chat. So, if y'all just forgive the light, we are gonna work in nature's workshop. Alright. Precision Phillips head drivers and flathead drivers, a couple of hex heads in there too. Great for trail repairs, fairly cheap. I want to say I got this either at the local hardware store or dollar store. Good trail kit, small stuff. You don't really need nothing big on the trails anyways. Now, again, I want to say that was, yeah, local hardware store, cheap pack on just regular size screwdrivers. And when I bought this was the double pack metric and standard Allen wrenches. This is what I use for most of my Workbench hex wrenches. They're long enough too that if you have that cross wrench, which we'll get into them in a minute, that's hollow all the way through, you can use the 2 mil for extra torque on the cross wrench when you got that stubborn bolt. Again, local hardware store, just cheap vice grip pliers that I use. These here, get them anywhere. The GB stripper crimpers, I use them for stripping and crimping. I don't use them for cutting, though they do have the slicing end, the cutting end up there on them. But then again, just local hardware store pliers. These are Craftsman pliers, but you know, the cheap tool bin at the local hardware store. This I bought at the local hardware store as well. The 7mm socket. Again, a local hardware store cheap tool bin. After all, technically these are toys we're playing with, guys. So I don't see spending a lot of money. Now, this again is another tool. It's a driver handle that has these style screwdriver ends. This one has the magnet on one end and the Phillips head on the other. Another, when you're in a tight spot, kind of a tool. It just don't like going back in the handle. Let's get that lined up. Snaps right in. Now, cross wrenches, I think this one's up. Is this one up? No. This one is not the one that's hollow all the way through. It's solid in the center of it. I mean, these are good. I grab them with the pliers here when I need extra torque on them just to spin them a little bit. But this one here is the one that's hollow all the way through. This, I'll stick that 2mm all the way through it, and I have that for torque to twist that off without feeling like I'm going to break anything. But, alright. That and a freebie pocket knife. That's basically the tool collection. So, let's move over to the next pile of stuff. Alright. Next topic for today's video as well. I was asked by Magnet about the, on the, just using this transmission. Well, as I have soaked this transmission several times, I'm not sure I want to trust these bearings in Bud 90 right now. So, but yeah. And also, we're going to be on the kind of more trail accessories end of it. Only thing I bought was the winch, and I bought it off of Wish. And from what I've seen, this is a knockoff old RC four-wheel drive. Shipping has never been good for these things. Screws come out in shipping, but they're not Loctite. I'm going to have to take that one loose and get me one the same size to go in here, and then do the whole thing back with Loctite. But enough on that. This here is a tow rope I made. Basically, that's the cheap paracord, and the ends come off of a bungee, little miniature bungee cord. I cut the bungee cord in half. It was an old one. Cut it in half, took the ends, and then just tied a knot. Tied a knot in the end of the rope big enough that this hook, when I shake it down because I'm doing this one-handed, sits in that little wire cup on the end. That actually works out quite well. And another one, I haven't tested it yet because I haven't wired the winch up to anything. You see there's the controller and the switch up there. Is a pull pal I built. Yeah, it's just a nail. In fact, 16 penny nail, 3.5 inches long. I bent it up so it'll hook in and catch like a root or something. And I took some solid wire here and hooked them together and then soldered it together so it made a little ring to either hook the tow rope into or hook the winch hook into. Either way, it'll pull and it should pull and work the way I have it done up. That should work. Now, all right, another subject. I just done some looking, and this won't work, but these are the axles off of a Red Cat Racing Everest 10. The one like what I was talking about getting for parts to work on Bud 90 and Project Shop Truck up there. This is, like I said, this is the one that come off of Georgia Mud Runner. And if you look in there, I don't have the flash on. Give me just a second, y'all, if I can. Nope. Learn something about this phone every day. You can't turn the flash up on it. So we're going to have to turn around and see if the sun will work with us today. JJ, what are you doing under that chair? Alright. Seeing bearings got all kind of gunk going on in there. And the axle shafts as well. So that's why I'm not going to use that project yet. Or not going to use these axles on that. And another thing. These here are the tires for Bud 90. I just had them sitting here. These are the tires and wheels that are going to be on Bud 90 when I finish the project. And for a lot of you who are on Magnatfied and have talked to me about this project, I do appreciate all your input. Like I said, those are the tires and wheels that's going to be for final. But y'all heard me talk about I grenaded the body. Here's what it looks like. Yeah. See the cap through the body? Yeah. But yeah. So that's why Bud 90 has no body. Now, again, in the last video, you'll see me talking about where I broke the bolt that holds the tie rod to the axles. Well, holds the tie rod, the bolt that holds the steering link to the tie rod to the knuckle. There. Now, when I ran it earlier that day, I had these big old honkers on there. They're about 4.7 inches tall. So I think that's about 120 millimeters, I think. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to look that up. Probably leave that in the description for y'all. They're about, I'd say probably about 2 inches wide. I'd had on there earlier that day and would run them. But then when I filmed it, I had these little things on there. And I mean, side by side size comparison. Y'all see they're shorter, they're skinnier. Just y'all see that it was leaning. Big tire was even leaning a little bit. They are lined up with like that. I mean, you see, there's a big size difference right there. But that was something else I wanted to tell you. I'm just me venting on frustration and stuff. Parts covered. Yeah, told y'all that is basically all that's left of Georgia Mud Runner. Besides that, and parts laying around here and there. Frame plates, which they kind of look a lot like body lift plates to me, or chassis lift plates, whatever you call them. Drop that in there. And well, you told me to use the white Landy wheels. Yeah, they're my off-road wheels, man. I don't really think big off-road tires on a little Land Rover would look right. I mean, okay, well, we're just going to take this body here and just kind of prop it up some to get a halfway decent idea of well, this tire goes on the other side because of the pattern, but tread pattern, but sorry, that's either type of talk or text or something. See, that just don't look right. Wouldn't be enough clearance there either. Too much trimming to put big old mud tires under that thing. But that's why I like these little dirt grabbers. They actually look quite scale. And that was really the plan, was to go scale with this truck anyways. But mostly it's all been built for fun anyways. So what else we need to cover? We went over that and that one. Trying to think what else I need to talk to y'all about. We got another thing. Guys, I'm not knocking on Traxxas, but my only experience with Traxxas has been, hang on, let me get to the light so y'all can see what I'm seeing, has been that Titan 12 turn right there. And I can honestly tell you, I've not had no problems out of it. So, now, I will be honest with y'all, when I bought that, I was comparing it to a Traxxas Slash 2-wheel drive, and that was a heap cheaper than that Slash was when I bought them. At the time I bought that, a 2-wheel drive Slash on the cheap end was at $220 some odd dollars, and that thing wasn't but $170 so. So, yeah, it was 4 years ago I bought that. Yeah, about 4 years ago. Well worth it to say that it's lasted 4 years, and the only thing I can tell you that really is gone is the lower control arm, and the motor and lower control arm are all I've had to replace on it, and it's a 4-year-old truck, and I haven't even replaced the lower control arm yet. Now, those with a keen eye looking at it would be like, those ain't the original shocks on the front, and they're not. I pulled them off of the Red Cat after it got junked out because I could tune them a little better than these backs, but they still have a lot of travel on them. Oh, now we didn't talk. That tells me too. Yes. Move some parts here. Get over here to a little bit of a shady spot. Last video I was talking about how these things, when I compressed them without the springs on the outside, how they retract back, versus like this shock here without the spring on it. When I do that and let it set it down, y'all can see it's not really coming back. Whereas with the and even that one, see, it's back, and then pull that one back out, and then see, so that one comes back to half travel. I don't know. Maybe it's because that's slightly larger diameter shock than that. I really don't know. But, alright, guys. Peace. Catch y'all in the next one. And, as always, Magnatfied link down below. I look forward to seeing y'all there. Catch y'all in the next one.